Hello my friends, Virus here, and I am still sick. But the good news is Nintendo officially revealed the Switch 2 today, which that's certainly something. It was heavily rumored that it was going to be revealed today, and lo and behold it was. This video is probably going up the day after, but as of right now it was revealed today. And it's pretty much exactly what we were expecting considering all the leaks, especially the one from Genki. And just like looking at them side by side, they're like Genki's mock-up versus the actual Switch 2 model, like they're identical. And considering the Genki situation that I made a video on last time, go check that out, link in the description, probably will be at the end of the video as well. After Nintendo approached them with lawyers, like now this like is all kind of like adding up, like we have all the pieces of the puzzle now, like because they obviously didn't have permission to show off the Switch 2 yet, and their mock-up is basically identical to the official Switch 2, so Nintendo shut that down like pretty quickly. And in short, basically Genki said it was based, like their mock-up was based on like a real unit that they had. Nintendo approaches them with lawyers, they change up their tune a little bit and say it's just based on the rumors and leaks, which I guess technically either or wouldn't be wrong, because the leaks were based on the unit, I guess, and the unit ended up being pretty on par with what we were hearing from the rumors and leaks. So I guess both answers are technically correct. But enough about Genki for now, let's talk about the Switch 2. I'm going to skim through the trailer a little bit. I'll probably freeze frame some stuff on screen. First, they show off the OG Switch. Very, very nice. Very clean design. The Switch we know and love, probably. I think, hopefully. And then they kind of like morph it into the Switch 2, which like first things first was like they showed off how much bigger the tablet is. And the tablet's like 1.5 times the size, which is pretty cool. I'm like all for like a bigger screen, especially like when you're playing like big games like Breath of the Wild. Like it helps to have a bigger screen. They're just some games that are just much better with a bigger screen. And some are just like perfectly fine for like the current like size of the Switch screen, but of course the bigger screen is always a plus. And then they showed off like the rest of the tablet, which like we have a new kickstand, there's like a new like port on the top to like charge it in tabletop mode, which is pretty cool, because that definitely was something that was like seriously missing from the original Switch, was like a way to charge your Switch in tabletop mode without like a third-party accessory. So that fixes that. And then they show off the Joy-Cons. And oh boy, let me tell you about these Joy-Cons. The sleek black design, the accent colors, instead of like, just being the entire Joy-Con, it looks so clean. And all the rumors pointed towards the Joy-Cons connecting to the Switch 2 magnetically. I'm not getting any of that, especially with the connector on, like, I'm showing it on screen, obviously. It looks like it's just gonna click into place. Like, maybe there's some magnetism to it that, like, helps it stick, but I don't know. And they, of course, show off the most recent feature that was rumored, which is the little optical sensor on the side, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like the same technology that's in a mouse. So we'll basically be able to use the Joy-Cons as like mice, which is pretty cool. At least that's what the rumors and leaks say. And I didn't notice this until just now, but there's a button on the top of the Joy-Con, like right on like the trim, and I'm guessing that's like what'll activate the sensor. And then they show us the Joy-Con snapping onto the Switch, which looks very clean. And again, tying into the fact that I don't think that this is going to be a magnetic connector. Like, maybe there are magnets in it that help connect it, but, like, I think that, like, it's gonna be, like, mostly, like, a solid connection, like you see on this, like, frame that I'm showing on screen right now. And they also play a little, like, clapping sound when they connect. I'll play that right now. And I think that's gonna replace, like, the Switch snap, like, instead of, like, at directs, maybe they'll, like, clap. Like, I think that'll be pretty cool. And then I'm gonna show this frame because I think this looks really nice. They just, like, show it popping off and then snapping on. Like, that is so clean. And then they just name drop it, just Switch 2 right there. Which I don't know why I thought they wouldn't call it the Switch 2. Like, we didn't have any reason to think they wouldn't. But just seemed, I don't know, kind of, like, just kind of basic, I guess. Like, oh, what's a new Switch? What do we call it? Oh, Switch 2, okay. Like, it just seemed very, like, not Nintendo, I guess. I don't think they've ever done that. Like the Game Boy Advance SP, they didn't call it the Game Boy Advance 2, you know what I mean? And I do have a video coming up next week about this like naming convention, like of Switch 1 and Switch 2, but that'll be next week, so if you want to catch that video, be sure to subscribe. And it's no surprise that as of right now, it's #1 on trending on YouTube right now. And then fast forward to this frame right here, they show off what looks to be Mario Kart 9, or whatever they want to call it, who knows? Maybe it won't be Mario Kart 9, maybe it'll be Mario Kart Jamboree, who knows? Super Smash Kart, whatever it is. I've been seeing a lot of memes of how Donkey Kong looks in this shot right here. I hope I can capture it right, but it looks pretty funny. Then of course they showed it in the dock, because what's a Switch without a dock? And like, I already thought that the the Switch 1 dock was like pretty okay, but this looks so much cleaner. Like everything about the Switch 2 just looks so much sleeker and cleaner. Then in this next frame, they show that the Joy-Cons will just snap into like another like variation of the Joy-Con grip, which I like that they're taking this approach of like the snapping in feature instead of like the rail system, because the rail system always made me like kind of like anxious to use them because like they just seem like very flimsy rails, and it like makes me nervous that like they're gonna snap and then like the rail system is gonna be like in the Switch and I'm gonna have to pry it out with like tweezers or something like that, and like the Joy-Cons gonna be broken. It felt like the Joy-Cons themselves felt very fragile, but not at the same time, if that makes sense. Like they had a good build quality, but it felt like you could easily just like snap them right off, and I'm sure that's the case, but still, it kind of freaked me out. Then they give us a release year, 2025. Thank goodness that's this year, by the way. And not only that, they showed a little page saying, hey, Switch 2 will play Switch 2 exclusive games, but also Switch games, which they already confirmed this a while back, but in case you don't follow Nintendo YouTubers or don't have access to Twitter, or are just not on Twitter, you wouldn't really know this, especially if like you're a parent buying this for your kid. Like maybe you wouldn't know that, and like that might be a really good reason to like want to pick up this console, because oh, he can still play little Johnny can still play his games that he really loves from his original Switch on this new Switch. Okay, I'm sold. And they just continue to feed us new stuff by announcing a Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 on the 2nd of April, which I don't know if that means that we won't get a Direct next month like we usually do. Like maybe we'll get like one more like good Direct, or maybe like a Direct mini. That's yet to be confirmed. They also said that they're gonna be like doing some like hands-on events where like you can like just go to some tech demos and like experience it. The Switch 2, that is. I think that's a pretty cool thing. I don't think I'm like in like the vicinity of any of those, but it's really cool. And back to just the overall design of the Switch 2 and just like how the Switch 2 is, it really feels like they're just trying to like completely wipe out the original Switch. Like, oh, this is the original Switch, but the Switch 2 can just do everything the original Switch can do, but better. And I like that it's backwards compatible, because that means like if somebody has like a very like decent Switch collection like I do, I think I have like 50 physical games, like those aren't just gonna collect dust on the shelf while I play on my new console. And in the event that there's like a little bit of a launch title drought, like just like maybe there aren't that many launch titles for the Switch 2 when it comes out, we'll still have our Switch 1 games to play. So it's not like we're gonna be bored by any means. But like everything about the Switch 2, it feels like every like little complaint that you had with the original Switch, it feels like it was fixed with the Switch 2. And I think that really shows that Nintendo's trying to please us as the customers by listening to our complaints about their previous console and just completely fixing that in the next one. Like rumors state that there are Hall effect sticks in the new Joy-Cons. If that's the case, that is going to be huge, and I wonder if that will save them a lot of hassle in the future. Because if it's just the same Joy-Con sticks, then there's probably just going to be more lawsuits piling up on them. But if it's Hall effect sticks, that's going to be like perfect. Because if you don't know how Hall effect sticks work, like instead of like the little graphite pads in the like original Joy-Cons that like read the inputs that wear down, instead of that in a Hall effect sticks, it's like magnetic plates or like just magnets in general, like reading the inputs. And in theory, that should be like a driftless experience, like all around. I believe the technology is still a little bit too new to say like with 100% certainty, but from everyone that I'm hearing, like Hall effect sticks are pretty reliable. And yeah, just everything about the Switch 2 just seems better, which is awesome. And this is like a little like niche thing, and I saw this just as a post like on Reddit, I believe. I can't find the original post, and I truly am sorry if like you are the one that posted about this. And I think actually a couple people posted about this. There didn't seem to be any amiibo, like obviously this is just showing off the console, not like the games, but there wasn't any really like amiibo support or like amiibo functionality. And that was interesting that somebody brought that up, but like obviously they're focusing on the console, but like if they're focusing on the console, I thought that they would show off like a pretty decent feature like that. Or like maybe they just assume that we know that it's going to be in there, considering that it's going to be able to play Switch 1 games, and a lot of Switch 1 games have amiibo functionality. I'm sure that all the questions we have about the Switch 2 currently will more or less be answered in this upcoming Direct. And will there be a Direct in February? I don't know. That's still yet to be seen. But as it stands, we're entering a new era of Nintendo, and that's pretty exciting. But what do you think of the Switch 2? Let me know down in the comments. Again, I do apologize for my voice. I still am pretty decently sick. I do hope to get well soon though, because that's honestly all that I've been thinking about is, will I be able to make a video on Monday? Will I be able to make a video on Friday? Like, I'm very much committed to YouTube, and I very much enjoy making content for YouTube. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss any virus content. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Virus out.